Hey guys, Philip Shadler here, your local real estate agent in Los Angeles. And today I want to talk about something I've never talked about and I've never done a video about it. But this is about discount brokers, and what just happened in the market is absolutely huge. So stay tuned. So this is what happened. You may have heard that Opendoor got slapped by the FTC with a $62 million lawsuit. This is mostly due to the fact that they have misled customers with their advertising, making them believe that if they list with Opendoor, they save thousands of dollars compared to listing with a regular real estate agent, where in fact, many clients have actually had the opposite experience where it cost them way more, thousands more than if they would have listed with a regular real estate agent. So this is huge because that is such a misleading advertising. That's such a smoke and mirror technique. It's a scam. You can't really call it more or anything else but a scam. And don't take my word for it. Here, if we look at Opendoor, LA Times, this is from August 1st, 2022. Opendoor to pay $62 million to settle. FTC claims it misled home sellers. That is huge, I think. That is really unbelievable. But it is true. Let's have a look here. Opendoor Technologies Incorporated agreed to pay $62 million to the Federal Trade Commission to settle allegations that it misled potential home sellers in its marketing campaigns. By the way, the FTC did not only fine them $62 million, they also ordered them to change their marketing techniques because they're absolutely misleading. Their stock obviously fell, naturally. And let's continue here. So the FTC said in its statement that Opendoor offers on houses were below market value on average, while its costs were typically higher than what a normal consumer would pay for a real estate agent. Think about this. This is really quite a turnaround. Instead, most people who sold to Opendoor made thousands of dollars less than they would have made selling their homes using the traditional process, FTC says. So this is huge. I don't wish anything bad on any company. However, if these kind of scams or shenanigans or smoke and mirror techniques are being used to lure clients in, making them believe they save a lot of money and then actually cost them way more, that is clearly, all of us agents, real estate agents, have a fiduciary duty to look out for the client's best interest, no matter who you represent, the buyer or the seller. This is far from it. It's quite the opposite, in my opinion. Because if they have to pay back $62 million to give money back to clients they have basically ripped off, well, $62 million, I would assume that each transaction, people may have lost $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. So that is a lot of clients they have to repay, maybe in the thousands. I don't know how many clients they have to repay. But I'm glad they got caught, and I'm glad that that justice is done here, because this is just ridiculous. I never have been a big fan of discount brokers because they're obviously trying to eliminate real estate agents. But not only that, also, I just think you don't get the quality. You know, it's kind of like if you go into a fancy restaurant, but you only want to pay a cheap restaurant price and expect to get top quality food and service. It's just not going to happen. Discount brokers, I have put together a little report here. Discount brokers, obviously we're talking about the Opendoor scam, which is what it is. You can't call it anything else. There's also another brokerage, discount brokerage, that is in trouble, Redfin. Their stock dropped from $98 to $8.98. Now, why would that happen? You might want to ask why. Good question. One of the reasons could be, this is from Bloomberg, a progressive real estate firm faces accusations of discrimination. Now, in this day and age, but in general, I think discrimination should be limited anyway, but in this day and age and in this industry, if you have stockholders hearing this, I think they drop your stock like a hot potato. So that could be possibly the reason. Maybe there's other reasons why Redfin stock went down that far. And let's just continue here. Redfin has staked its reputation on making a racist industry more equitable. Critics say it has been denying services to black home buyers and sellers. Wow. This is really, that's something else. Now, since we're talking about discount brokerages, I dug into a little bit more and got a little bit of information because As you know, Redfin claims, and you've seen the advertisement, 1% listing fee. Well, legally, this may be true. In actuality, however, it's a different story. Because if you look here, how much does Redfin cost? When you sell with Redfin, the total real estate commission will likely cost 4 to 4.5%. Now look at this. This is already very close to 5 and 6%, which is traditional commission that real estate agents charge, and you get a good service. Of your home sale price. This includes Redfin's 1.5 listing fee. Now, as far as I know, don't quote me on that, but as far as I know, you only get the 1% listing fee if you also purchase through Redfin your next home, as well as the 2.5 and 3% for the buyer's agent commission. So they don't really, this is like, to me, again, smoke and mirror technique. You're luring people in, look, only 1%, but in actuality it's 4.5, and who knows what else comes on top of that. Now, discount brokers, I've not been a big fan because, and I'm not saying that Redfin works that way, but I have seen and heard from discount brokers, what they do is, you've heard the term cheap is expensive. So they must work with high volume and move on to the next deal. So the issue is, if they have a listing, these discount brokers, again, I'm not accusing Redfin of doing that, but other individual discount brokers have been known to do that, where they have a buyer, they have a listing, and the buyer says, will the seller take less? And the discount broker says, yeah, sure, let me check it out. Goes back to the seller and says, look, this is all we have. You should consider taking this deal. I mean, I don't know exactly how discount brokers work because I'm not one of them, and I despise that kind of technique. But what they're doing is they're giving away the seller's equity, and the worst part is the seller will never even know about it, because they may corner the seller into making a decision. And here's the thing. A real estate transaction can be very stressful, and emotions come out, and now making decisions based on emotions is really not a good idea. This is why you have a good real estate agent. A real estate agent is not emotionally attached to the process. He or she only looks at numbers and facts, where the owner might be emotionally stressed, and therefore easier to convince to take a deal that they shouldn't have taken. Anyway, this is what I think about discount brokers. In all of these, you see up here, Zillow iBuying program was shut down months ago because they burnt their fingers. They thought it was easy, to flip homes. They got out of the business a long time ago. What happened at Zillow? How a priced real estate site lost at iBuying. And the company says it's the algorithms. The funny thing is they have their own algorithm, and they created their own algorithm. And even the owner of Zillow stated a few months ago that their algorithm, their estimates are not accurate. Because it's just algorithms. You cannot really put a value of a real estate agent. There's an emotional human factor involved. When you walk through a house, when a buyer walks through a house, they get excited, or it has certain features. You cannot just compare house to house to house on a computer. You have to actually walk through it, and this is where it's important. But all of these companies have been trying to get rid of real estate agents. All of these iBuying companies like Opendoor, Redfin, Zillow, they all thought we can just wipe out the real estate agents and take over. Well, as I found out, it's not that easy. And this is interesting because Opendoor scam, I have talked about this before. When I do, people think I cut them down because I want the business. But I have evidence now. This is clearly right here in the LA Times. And this is huge to me, But here's another thing. For example, AI replacing real estate agent is really not that simple, because let's just say you have a buyer that walks through a house, and the buyer says, why does that Hollywood swing in the yard come with the house? And the good agent will say, would you like it to come with the house? And the buyer says, yes, let me make that happen for you. That requires negotiation skills, tactics, and just really being a good a person that makes good relationships with other agents in order to get these things happen. AI, at least at this point, maybe in 10, 20 years, we'll have an Android that can do that, but AI just cannot do that. So AI cannot replace a real estate agent. Also, another thing I wanted to mention really quickly is if you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, view a real estate agent's commission as an expense, then you might have the wrong agent. Because how can you go or aim for the cheapest agent, the cheapest real estate agent, but expect top quality representation? It just doesn't work. It's like going into a cheap restaurant and expecting top quality food and service. It just doesn't exist. I mean, I haven't found it. So a real estate agent's commission, in my opinion, really should be seen as an investment, because his or hers, the agent's, his or hers experience and expertise they will spend the time required. They will make your sale of your property a priority, as an agent should, because again, we have the fiduciary duty to look out for the client's best interest. They will use their resources, their connections, their marketing techniques, and to get the most amount of money for your home, and sometimes even more, depending on how talented the agent is and how many eyeballs they get on the property, and kind of creating a competition. This is how I would view it, in my opinion. Now, let's see over here. There's another thing too, like I was just mentioning earlier, when clients who get stressed and make decisions, this is also applicable to for sale by owners. Interesting enough, for sale by owners think they can sell their own houses, and I forgot the percentage, but there's very few that actually do sell it. Lots of them collapse emotionally because they just, I can't take it anymore, let's hire an agent. But other ones are just, even when they successfully sell, or I won't say successful, if they sell, they oftentimes sold for less than they would have if they would have used an agent, because again, there is a lot of experience and expertise that comes into the game when you are talking about a real estate agent. The interesting thing is here, the forsalebyowner.com founder, so the guy who put up the website for sale by owners, gives up an own listing and hires a real estate broker. This is kind of funny. I mean, again, I don't want to wish anything bad to anybody. This was published August 3rd, 2011. But it's interesting that the guy who actually owns the For Sale by Owner website did use an agent. This just gives to show you that it's not quite as easy as you think it is. Besides the fact that for sale by owners leave themselves open to lawsuits after the sale, because I don't think that they're using all the hundreds of disclosure forms that agents use when they have a transaction. So they could be facing legal issues, and that's happened before. Anyway, in closing real quick, I want to show you this real quick. I found this on AI. The current adaptation of AI side, there's also the specificity of the real estate industry that calls for the human factor's presence. Therefore, instead of replacing human real estate agents with artificial intelligence algorithms, AI is more likely to work with agents, helping them make a data-based decision. And this is very true. In today's world, absolutely, AI is a huge assistance and help for real estate agents. We have certain automatizations and systems. I mean, we still have to do a lot of work, but it is definitely helpful to have that. But so, looking at this and looking at what's going on here, I think the real estate agents have a fairly safe future in the market. One more thing really quickly I wanted to mention, if you ever need a real estate agent outside of California, I have several people that I know. Team BC in Florida, fantastic team. I also just closed in North Carolina, Charlotte. There's Kyle with his team, fabulous team. So if you have anybody that's moving or thinking about moving to North Carolina, Charlotte, let me know, because these guys are amazing. We just closed escrow last week. And I also have Helen up north and then Shannon down south in California. So if you need somebody, let me know. I also know a couple of good real estate agents in Los Angeles. The other two, they escaped me, but one of them is Philip A. Shadler. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you can, if you find this interesting or have any comments, please comment in the comment section. I will also leave these article links in the comment section, so you can see I don't make this stuff up or created this somehow. And yes, and if you can share this or subscribe or forward this to anybody, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.